Happy New Year, everybody. What's up? It's your buddy Mogswamp with another episode of The Flat World. This is number 104, and as you can see, this is a time-lapse of me finishing off the building that covers up the moss farm we got working at the end of the last episode, and I'm super pleased with how it came out. I really wanted to do like a brick factory, and I think I got that vibe. As you can see, you can come into the basement and the storage system is all hooked up. I've cleaned the basement up so it all looks nice and sorts everything out for you. So you can just come over here and grab what you need. It's been super nice to have the moss, especially now that you can craft it into mossy cobblestone and stuff like that. And then you go up here and the exit is hidden in the tree roots. And yeah, I've also just been working on some other projects around, like this cliff here. Needed to finish this off. It's been on the to-do list literally forever. So yeah, that is finally done at last. But yeah, let me give you a closer look at this moss farm without any shaders on, just so you can see how it all came out. So here we are. Here's the finished product. Ain't she a beauty? I love how this building came out. It got just what I was going for, which is like a mix of like an old factory and like an old storefront. You can come over here to turn it on. There's this little side door. We can flick this lever and then the farm starts, and you can actually see the items getting swept along at multiple parts of the process. So if you go over to this window where we have this bench, you can see everything gets swept down, and then this item elevator here is sort of visible, so you can see the items going up. And then you have this little drop chute where the items fall down. So the whole process is kind of visible from the outside, which I really like. In fact, even from the back here through those windows, you can see the redstone moving around every once in a while, just like that, which is kind of cool. Makes it look like there's machines going on inside doing things. We can also get right inside the farm if we need to do little maintenance work. And we've got this little fire escape here where we can go up to the top. We've just got some decorations, stuff like that. I still need to do something with the top, or maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just leave it empty. But it would be cool to do a little room up here. I'm not sure what it would be, just storage maybe, some gears turning, something like that. But that is not all I've been working on. You see, after last episode when we made this building, I was inspired to work on this area, and I just started doing some sketches in my sketchbook and came up with an idea for a mega terraforming project, and I ended up building this lighthouse to complement it. So I'm gonna actually throw on a time lapse now of me building up this lighthouse. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that time lapse. I'm really proud of how this lighthouse came out. I think it's really sick so far, and I'm super excited to do the interior. And it also lights up at night, which is super cool. It actually spins around and everything. So I'm really happy with the build. I think it came out awesome. Yeah, you can see the skeleton of a giant terraforming project in the background here. And I've done a lot of terraforming on the beach to start finishing that part up. And I'm just so happy with how it's coming out so far. But I'm not going to talk about this part of the world too much, because I'm doing a separate video on how to do a mega terraforming project like this, sort of my thought process, how to tackle it, how to break it down into sections and you know, figure out your vision, all that stuff. So yeah, I'll go into a little bit more detail about it. But in the main Flat World series here, you'll probably just see it coming along slowly. But yeah, just to give you a little bit of a closer look at this lighthouse here, check this out. Oh, and by the way, yeah, 1.18, we get the glow squid like everywhere now. It's kind of nice. It's kind of nice. But yeah, as I was saying, you pull up your little boat here, get off and tie to the dock, and then you climb up. And yeah, we've got little storage here. We've got like these little platforms full of just junk that sort of lead up into the building here. Just can't wait to flesh out the interior of this. I think the interior is gonna be super fun to do. So yeah, this will probably be the main entrance, and then we've got a lot of space to work with, including this whole under space here. We might be able to have a pretty big basement. Maybe we can even hide some sort of farm in here. I don't know. I'll have to think about what farms we need to build. But yeah, guys, that's enough on this for now. Let's move on to something new. But before we do, I just wanted to show you just the sheer scale of this mountain that I'm working on here. Now that I've started to block in the top a little bit. I mean, just look at how high up we are. Y180, which just for reference, if you compare that to Wuthering Heights used to feel so big to me. Like, it used to feel practically at sky limit. I know it never was, but it felt like it. But now if I go there, that other mountain was at what, 180? This mountain is 91. It's almost twice as tall. I mean, it straight up is twice as tall. I mean, that's crazy. That's really crazy. It's gonna be so sweet when it's done. But what I want to move on and do here for a little bit is work on this harbor. I realized that I kind of want to get rid of all the water so that we can sculpt out the bottom of the harbor a little bit easier and then place the water back properly. Because right now the water is just this top layer. So these are not source blocks down at the bottom here. This is all running water, and I'd like to fix that. So first we gotta block all this water back up to get rid of it. Then we're gonna sculpt the bottom of this harbor here, and then we can put the water back. Fun. Alright guys, so as you can see, I got the area all drained now, and so yeah, I started sculpting the shore out a little bit. But yeah, now we're out of room pretty much. I've got one more half slab layer before we hit the bedrock layer. And so I've been trying to remove the bedrock, and I found this method that uses lag that allows me to remove like 6 blocks of bedrock at once. So let me show you guys how this works. The only sad thing is I lose a lot of pistons while I'm doing this because they kind of fall down into the void. So we're gonna put down pistons just like that, and then we're gonna do redstone torches in front. And this actually requires tweakaroo because we need fast right clicking in order to pull this trick off. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn on the fast right click like that. And then what we do is we right click that lever. It's gonna lag the game out, and we'll hold that for a few seconds. And then as that's going, we delete the torches, mine out the pistons, and then use tweakaroo to place the pistons facing downwards. And when the game stops lagging, that should get rid of those bedrock blocks underneath. There we go. And so now we can just remove the pistons once more, and everything underneath is now removed. So as you can see, it's a pretty fast method. Like I said, we can do about like 6 blocks at once. Once we've removed the bedrock, we can actually extend the shore much deeper, and it'll look a little bit more realistic with big ships coming through here. I mean, it's also just exciting because we have so much real estate now under here to do stuff with. It's kind of sketchy flying under there. It gives me the heebie-jeebies, but we could extend our main tower base down and have a big basement. I mean, just look how much more space there is down there. There's a lot of stuff we can do under the world now. Alright guys, I just wanted to check in with you. It has been a couple days and many hours of doing this, and let's be honest, I don't have that much to show for it, but I think I am slowly picking up speed, and I think taking care of the rest of this, Oh, it's gonna take me probably over the course of the next week, I think I can do it, which isn't too bad as far as projects on the flat world go. And it's starting to look pretty crazy. I was sick of losing pistons to the void, so I built a platform down here to catch them. It's also nice because I can just jump down there and be not as worried about falling into the void if like my elytra suddenly breaks or something like that. And yeah, it's starting to look really crazy. There's just something about like this big gap. It just looks so bizarre to me. I'm just gonna keep chugging away at this, guys. Oh, and by the way, I did make another hole in the bedrock over by our main base just to sort of see where it was in reference to where we're digging this hole out, and there it is. That's the fountain to our main base right there. All right, guys, checking in again. It has been another couple of days, and I got a pretty good chunk of this done now, but you know, I still got a daunting amount left to go. And I just wanted to try and do a little slice of how the shore might look, how deep it might go, what the sort of shape of it might be. And I'm not super happy with this yet. I think it switches from this very, very shallow incline to getting too steep too fast. So I think it needs to maybe follow more where my cursor is right now. And so maybe the bottom would be a couple blocks up from where I have it. But it's a good visualization nonetheless, and it gets me excited about actually finishing off this project. But guys, I was kind of losing my mind a little bit from just removing bedrock for hours on end, and so I wanted to switch things up a little, and so I came into my creative world to start building up my nether base. I really do want to finish this project off, and so I think that's where I'm going to focus now. I'm going to try and at least get the building completely done in creative mode, and then I don't know if we'll copy it over into survival in this episode, but we can definitely get a good start on it at the very least. And just to show you guys sort of what I have left to do, there's a lot of spots down at the bottom here that are just wide open. And so that's mostly what I need to clean up right now. And then there's also a few floating portals. We're going to have to do some sort of hanging platforms for those and make some way to get over to those portals from the main tower here. But guys, I also just wanted to acknowledge, because I don't think I've talked about it, that my world tour has been hitting the algorithm and doing really well. I think it hit 100,000 views, and I got almost 2,000 new subscribers, so welcome if you're watching. Hi guys, I hope you're enjoying the video so far. I've been seeing a lot of people actually go back through the series from the start and watch the flat world from the beginning, which is pretty fun. And while I've actually been seeing those comments on my older videos, something I realized is that I used to talk about my personal life a lot more in the videos. And so I'm actually like a little curious, is that something you guys are interested in? Should I do that a little more often? I guess the biggest thing that's happened in my personal life recently is that I got a little kitty, and his name is Miko. And I never thought I could have a cat because I'm very allergic to them, but it seems like my body's been like acclimating to it, and I've been taking Flonase, which is the sort of allergy medicine that you sort of like snort up your nose. It sounds kind of crazy, but you know what I'm talking about. And it's actually been working pretty well for me, and I haven't had too bad of allergies. And so, yeah, I've just been having a ton of fun having a cat. It's basically my first ever pet because I never had a pet growing up as a kid. But anyways, guys, I'm going to continue to work on this in creative mode. I'll check in when it's all finished up. And yeah, let me know in the comments if you guys would be interested in hearing more about my personal life in these episodes. Is that something you guys are interested in, or should we just keep it business here? Let me know. All right, guys, so fast forward a couple hours and I've gotten a lot done on this. Basically, the only part I have left is this little outcropping. But I think I've got enough to where I can start building in survival. I figured out what I'm going to do with this wall. I figured out what I'm going to do with here. And I think I'm just going to do a similar thing with this wall here. So I think I'm pretty much ready to go here. I always try not to waste too much time in creative, like building up things that I don't actually need for when I do the build in survival. Like at a certain point, since the build is somewhat symmetrical, you can just say, okay, I think I have a good idea of what I'm doing, and I'm ready to switch to survival. So I think that's where I'm at. So I'm gonna get started, and yeah, we'll see how far I can get. And it turns out I could get pretty far, guys. Today was Sunday, so I pretty much just worked on this all day long. And yeah, I've got it all finished up here for the most part. I was just starting to look at the interior for this thing because I'm pretty excited to work on an interior for it. But as far as the exterior goes, we're all finished. As you can see, this thing's all closed in now from all different sides. So the only things I really want to do now are make some sort of way to get to these other two portals. And yeah, work on an interior, spruce it up a little bit. But at least from the outside, I think this is looking super impressive. I'm really happy with how it came out. And for those of you who don't know or weren't here at the beginning of the project, this building actually perfectly mirrors the shape of my base in the overworld, and it's actually to scale as well. So if I basically go to any of these rooftops, these represent the shapes that are in the big base structure that I've built up. It's kind of hard to explain, but hopefully with some editing magic, I'll have gotten my point across. Now, if we end up building stuff on those little tiers of my base, we can just put the portals in these little rooms, and it should link up perfectly, just without me having to worry about it. All right, so let's actually test this theory out. So we're actually facing north right now. That would be where Salacia is, in that portal right there. So this is where we just built that new lumber mill wood farm. And so in theory, if we come down into this building and let's see, create a new portal right inside here. And let's actually sink it into the floor. That'll look better. All right, so just like this, we'll make it 3 wide, 3 tall, and come across just like this with it. Perfect. So we'll light that up. It won't connect yet. Yeah, so it just actually created a new portal right here, which is exactly where we want it to be, except I'm gonna move this and go ahead and put it down in the basement of this farm here. All right, we got a new portal built down here. I think that's a good spot for it, so let's go through, see if it connects. And there we go, perfect. So without even having to think, I could connect up this portal into the Nether base, just because of the way that we built it to scale with our actual base in the overworld. So I think that's a super cool part of this Nether base that it's gonna come in really handy. Well guys, I think that's about all I have time for in the Nether today. I'm very excited to do the interior of this building and start working on that. And I'm just really happy that we got the exterior done. But yeah, as far as the interior goes, I'm thinking maybe like a throne room. Wouldn't it look great to have a throne right there? We've got a lot of room to do stuff in this little compartment, I guess you would call it. And then on this, up top here, we have like room for, I would say, like a grand staircase going up. We can put something in the back there. We've got the second level, maybe a big chandelier coming down from the top. That would look really awesome. I'm really excited to dress this place up, so definitely looking forward to that. But yeah, the only challenge is gonna be making it spawn proof so that we don't have to deal with these guys all the time. That'll be difficult, but I think it's a fun challenge to try and make things spawn proof. Anyways, guys, I'd say it's time to head back into the overworld and start to wrap this episode up. Let's get one last little look at our work here. Oh, it looks so awesome. Job well done. All right, guys, so to finish off the episode, I wanted to add one more thing to my collection of bone meal powered farms over here by my mob farm, and that is this little sea pickle farm. It's a ilmango farm. I'll link the tutorial on the screen and in the description. But yeah, it's pretty cool. You just come here, flip this switch, and then you gotta just get the rhythm right. There we go. See how fast it's going up now? There we go. We got the rhythm now. Yeehaw! Sea pickles up the wazoo. This will make decorating the seafloor really awesome when we finish mining out all that bedrock. So yeah, guys, that was a quick little build. It only took me like 15 minutes or so that was just a fun little way to wrap up the episode. I love having all these little bone meal powered farms over here. Eventually, I really do want to encase all these farms in some sort of building. So I've been brainstorming a way to do that, as well as this farm too. But it's going to be a big building. But guys, all in all, this has been a super productive episode. We finished up the moss block farm, and I'm super happy with that, how that came out. We started this whole project of doing this shore, and we can look forward to finishing that off next episode, hopefully. And we started this mega terraforming project did this lighthouse, and then in the Nether, finished off our exterior of our base, and we've got a new farm for making sea pickles. I mean, that's a jam-packed episode. So again, thanks for all the support to the new people who have been taking a look at the channel and subscribing. I hope you liked this episode. If you did, leave a like. If you didn't, feel free to dislike. It'll let me know. And yeah, give me a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. Always look forward to hearing your thoughts. All right, guys, have a nice life. Bye.